Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ang hapon, no, kung nasaan man kayo, sa US man kayo, Canada, etc. Magandang magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay mabuhay po kayo. Talagang nagagalak po tayo at kasama namin kayo ngayong araw. Okay, mga katropang OFW, mga kabataan at lahat ng nanonood mula sa Quezon City hanggang Qatar, Dubai, hanggang Davao, Los Angeles, hanggang London, kamusta kayo? Welcome sa ating ilang mga minutong political deep dive na puno ng kwento, katatawanan at katotohanan. Ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang pinakamainit na issue sa Philippine politics. Isang pare, tinawag si Vice President Sara Duterte na demonya. Pero teka lang si Leila de Lima daw ang gagawing santo. Ano ito? Teleserye o tunay na laban ng prinsipyo? Mga kababayan, this is not just chismis This is a battle of narratives, a clash of ideologies, and a chance to unpack the truth behind the headlines. Grab your popcorn, your kape, or your bubble tea if you are in Singapore at simulan natin itong intellectual roller coaster ride. Pero bago yan, i-hit nyo na ang like button, i-subscribe at i-ring ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga ganitong content. Kung nasa Saudi, Canada o Australia ka, i-share mo ito sa tropa mo. At kung may extra, send us a super thanks please para may pagpatuloy natin itong laban na ito para sa katotohanan. So bakit nga ba demonya ang tingin kay Inday Sara? At bakit parang hinintay na lang natin si de Lima sa langit kasama ang mga santo? Let's break it down with facts, satire, and a sprinkle of Pinoy humor. Pero first, let's set the stage. Philippine politics in 2025 magulo pa kaysa sa rush hour sa EDSA. Si Sara Duterte, our Vice President, is under fire from impeachment threats to being called a demonya by a priest. Parang lahat na lang kontra sa kanya. Samantala, si Leila de Lima, after years in jail, is now being painted as a martyr, a hero, and even a saint in waiting by her supporters. Pero teka, fair ba ito? Or is this another case of selective storytelling by the mainstream media? Let's dive in mga kaibigan and separate the wheat from the chaff. Or in Tagalog, ang bigas mula sa ipa. Ay, nako, talaga nakakatuwa. Mga tropa, let's start with the elephant in the room. Isang pare, yes, man of the cloth. Tinawag si Sara Duterte na demonya. Grabe, di ba? Parang scene sa horror movie pero let's not get carried away by the drama. Ano ba talaga ang context nito? According to reports, this priest was reacting to Sara's fiery rhetoric against President Marcos and her alleged involvement in controversial political moves like her threats during a press conference in November 2024. Pero teka, let's be real, si Sara, known for her tough-talking style, is just continuing the Duterte brand of politics. Straightforward, no filter, and unapologetic. So bakit demonya agad? Isn't this just a case of a priest using a hyperbole to attack a woman who's challenging the status quo? Imagine this, kung si Sara demonya, sino ang anghel? Si Marcos, na laging may photo op sa Pasig River? O si de Lima, na biglang naging poster girl ng justice? After years of questionable decisions, mga kaibigan, if we're throwing around labels, let's at least be consistent. Let's talk policy. Si Sara, as VP and former Education Secretary, push for programs like the Matatag Curriculum to fix our broken education system. She also championed mental health initiatives for students, something we desperately need in a country where depression rates are climbing. Compare that to the priest accusations, no specific policy critic, just name-calling. So who's really serving the peoples here? Kung agree kayo na unfair ang demonya label kay Sara, i-comment sa baba. Nyo sa baba, Inday Sara, laban lang. And don't forget to like and share this video, lalo na sa mga kababayan natin dyan sa Dubai, Sydney at Toronto. Okay, now let's shift gears to Leila de Lima. tropa, after 6 years in jail, she's back in the spotlight, running for Congress in 2025 and being hailed as a prisoner of conscience. Nanalo ang party list, hindi po siya mismo. Pero kasi I doubt kung siya mismo ang tatakbo, I doubt na mananalo. Kunwari bilang senador, one-on-one, no? Yung wala, matatalo. Congresswoman ng district, matatalo. Kasi po, party list po ang ba makakabuo ng at least 300,000 or 100,000 na boto? Di po ba? Nakuha niyo po ba? So, kundari, may machinery ka na, yan po ang pinakamadaling pumasok sa Congress, party list. Kaya nga po tayo, pinag-iisay pa na tumakbo bilang party list. Niya, she's a victim of political persecution. Martyr for human rights. Pero teka, let's examine the other side of the coin. Is De Lima really the saint her camp is making her out to be? Picture this, ha? It's 2016 and De Lima, as Justice Secretary, is overseeing a prison system where drug lords and Bilibid are living like kings. Woo, talaga, complete with jacuzzis and Wi-Fi. Then, as a senator, she launches a probe into Duterte's drug war, accusing him of extrajudicial killings. Nobel, right? But here's the kicker. Witnesses later recanted, saying they were coerced to testify against Duterte. So was De Lima fighting for justice, or was she playing political chess to take down a rival? Kung santo si De Lima, bakit parang mas maraming plot twist ang kwento niya kaysa sa K-drama? From drug charges to sudden vindication, it's like her PR team deserves an Oscar for storytelling. Meanwhile, si Sarah, who's been working tirelessly for education and OFW welfare, gets called a demonia. Mga kaibigan, double standards match. So let's talk about De Lima's track record. As Justice Secretary, she failed to reform the corrupt prison system. As a senator, her focus on Duterte's drug war overshadowed other pressing issues like poverty and healthcare. Now, she's promising an EJK victim compensation fund. Sounds good, di ba? But where's the concrete plan? Compare that to Asara's tangible programs for education and youth empowerment. Who's really delivering results? Kung sa tingin niyo overrated ang santo narrative ni De Lima, i-comment nyo, Sarah versus Leila. And if you're in Hong Kong, Riyadh, or San Francisco, send us a super thanks please to keep this content coming. Okay mga tropa, let's zoom out ha. The Demonia and Santo drama is just one piece of a bigger puzzle. Philippine politics in 2025, it's a circus, a telenovela, and a chess game all at once. At the center of it all is the Marcos Duterte feud with Sara fighting, impeachment, and De Lima riding the martyr wave. Pero ano ang stakes ha para sa atin? Lalo na sa mga OFW sa Japan, UAE at Canada. Philippine politics doesn't exist in a vacuum. The world is watching, especially our OFWs who send billions in remittances every year. Sarah's strong support among OFWs is no accident. Her policies like pushing for better labor protections and education for OFW kids resonate with our kababayan abroad. Meanwhile, De Lima's campaign is banking on international sympathy with groups like Amnesty International, calling her a human rights defender. But let's ask, who's really fighting for the Filipino people? And who's playing to the global gallery? Kung politics is a game, si Sarah ang chess queen. Strategic, fearless, and always one step ahead. Si De Lima parang pawn na biglang naging bishop dahil sa PR magic. Pero mga tropa, the real players are us, the voters, the OFWs, the youth. So let's not get distracted by the noise. Let's compare their visions. Sarah's pushing for federalism to empower regions like Mindanao, a cause her father championed. She's also advocating for stronger anti-crime measures, drawing from her Davao roots. De Lima, on the other hand, is focused on human rights legislation, but her track record shows more talk than action. For OFWs, Sarah's practical policies like skills training and reintegration programs offer more tangible benefits than De Lima's lofty promises. Kung pro Sara kayo, Shout out sa comments. Inday Sara for 2028. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video sa mga kababayan natin sa Sydney, Doha at Makati. So where do we go from here? Si Sara Duterte, despite the demonya label, remains a powerhouse. Her TikTok game is strong, connecting with youth and OFWs through relatable content like her Jollibee posts. De Lima, meanwhile, is banking on her martyr image to win votes in 2025. But let's be real, ha? The midterms are a referendum on who can deliver for the Filipino people. Let me tell you a story. In Davao, where Sara grew up, she saw firsthand how tough leadership can transform a city from crime-ridden to one of the safest in Asia. Davao's success is a testament to the Duterte brand. Now, as VP, Sara's bringing that same grit to the national stage. Compare that to De Lima, whose political comeback feels more like a redemption arc than a genuine commitment to service. Kung si Sara ang demonya, then she's the kind who gets things done. Unlike some saints who spend more time posing for international media than solving real problems. Mga tropa, let's choose leaders who walk the talk, not just talk the talk. Looking ahead, Sara's focus on education, OFW, welfare, and regional empowerment could shape the Philippines' future. Her impeachment battles just noise from political rivals scared of her 2028 presidential run. De Lima's human rights agenda, while noble, lacks the practicality needed to address our country's complex challenges. For OFWs in Saudi, Australia, and the US, Sara's visions offer more hope for a stronger, fairer Philippines. Kung naniniwala kayo sa laban ni Sara, i-comment nyo, Laban Inday. And if you're in Abu Dhabi, Milan, or Cebu, hit that like button and send a super thanks to support our channel, please. Mga katropa, mga katropang OFW, mga kabataan at lahat ng nanonood mula Manila hanggang Maldives, salamat sa pagsama sa ating mga ilang minutong journey. Today, we unpack the Demonya versus Santo drama, exposed the double standards in Philippine politics, and showed why Sara Duterte's leadership is what we need in this turbulent times. Si Leila De Lima, she may have her fans, but her track record raises more questions than answers. Si Sara Duterte is being unfairly demonized for her bold, no-nonsense style. While De Lima's saint narrative, feels like a PR stunt. Sara's policies on education, OFW, welfare, and regional empowerment are practical and people-centered, unlike De Lima's vague promises. The 2025 midterm elections are our chance to support leaders like Sara who fight for the Filipino people, not just for headlines. Kung nakarelate kayo sa episode natin, i-hit ang like button, i-subscribe at i-share sa mga kababayan natin sa Dubai, Toronto at Davao. I-comment nyo rin ano ang mas gusto nyo, Sara's grit or De Lima's drama. And if you're feeling generous, send us a super thanks. Kahit maliit, patuloy natin itong laban na ito para sa katotohanan. Mga tropa, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep fighting for better Philippines. Hanggang sa susunod, This is your political kuya, #WalkWithLan, signing off. Laban Pilipinas, Laban Duterte.